powered by Riverside FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Jandler.
Welcome, Choey. By the way, that was not my fault. The very, very beginning intro, I hit the button and just didn't play. It did. Oh, I just realized. So I was listening to the last episode, right? There's one thing that's already posted, but I need to go back and edit it. Like I edited everything else out or everything, but there was one little segment that I gotta move. You remember the our little ad that we read?
Yeah.
And after that, I was kind of making fun of it, like how he's like, and here we are. I'm here to read an ad for Choey and Jandler. Whatever we said afterwards kind of got chopped and cut because I moved some stuff around, but I'll fix it. I swear.
Not like that. I'll call you Bob.
Dude, I thought, speaking of that, I thought I had sent that to the buyblacket.com guy. And I was like, oh, he liked the first one. I was like, he didn't like this one? And then I realized, no, I meant to send it. I finally sent it tonight. So I was watching it earlier, dude. I'm gonna release that tomorrow. That might be one of our funniest ones right now. You know, I love it. But,
well, and it's good because it's coming out at the same time as this episode, right? Or
yeah,
a little before this one?
about a day before. Did you
No.
did you show the missus the after product? Remember we showed her the before?
Yeah, she still was the same. Like, y'all are stupid. And I'm like, you know what? We have two sponsors, like
No,
pretty much now. Like,
we are stupid, but it still doesn't mean it's not funny, you know.
I told him it's like, you know, like you put us down, but my idiocracies have led to just like a growth. Like we grow up here. It's like not a fungus though or anything, but like like a beneficial fungus. That's right. Like we're like penicillin.
The reason I'm laughing, I was thinking of like your like George from Seinfeld is like Costanza. Eventually, it's just there with you. That jingle just sticks in your head. But all right, moving on to the holidays.
Here are today's effing holidays.
Oh, I'm gonna try it again just in case I didn't catch all that.
Here are today's effing holidays.
There we go, just in case. Oh, and I didn't look up the weather while I did this. All right, dude, it is December 6th. It is Dog Film Festival. Oh my gosh, hold up. That says November 6th.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I actually looked at the script a little bit, and I was like,
Yeah.
maybe is that a typo?
Where were you on that one, genius?
You know what bothers me though is the one on the next slide. The National Make Men Dinner Day was November 6th. I should have known. Like, I'm gonna put it on my calendar for next year.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like,
never mind. Never mind.
I just call that day. I was like, I call just
Actually read that backwards. Not make men dinner, it's men make dinner. Let's just leave that one off.
Oh,
Like,
you thought I was like, hey, make me a meal.
that's what I was like, yeah, I'm on board with that. Make me some food. And I just realized, no, it's me make the food. No.
Hey,
No.
today I finally on the right holiday. December 6th is Mitten Tree Day. Keep your hands toasty warm this Mitten Tree Day, and maybe bless someone else too. It's also National Pawnbrokers Day, right before Christmas, right? Let's celebrate the impact of pawnbrokers on our society this Pawnbrokers Day. Is we got to get money.
Go to that one right there that you're on.
Which one?
That one.
Put on your own shoes day.
Yeah, we have to have a holiday for that.
You can see this day as a metaphor for proudly strutting your stuff. I initially read it and I was like, "Are you wearing somebody else's shoes?" And they're like, "Put on your own shoes. Quit wearing somebody else's." You know.
I'm like, that's like my holiday. That's like my national holiday. Like nobody puts my shoes on for me. What's wrong?
And not only that, you put them on. Not only do you wear your own shoes, you actually put them on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the WTF app. I don't know if you heard. I have a little British lady that reads to me.
Oh yeah.
So this nighttime is 61 degrees. She says, "There's no man in the moon tonight." So I guess it's not bright out there. I'm not looking.
I actually changed my Siri voice to just like a normal American accent because for a while I had Australian. I had the Australian guy.
Yeah.
And I got just tired because like every once in a while he would just say pronounce something weird, and I'd be like, "What? No." And then mobile. I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired of her voice now, man.
See,
Like,
see, that's why I like it when they're British, because then I just kind of laugh. There was one, and it's like, I gotta find the bleep button for this, right? Uh, I know we have it on here somewhere. I
I
just
think this
can't
is
say
the
it.
story. I think I know
There it
what you're
is.
going with the story. I think this is what you played me one time, like years
Yeah,
ago.
you know what's up? When I was like, hey, we need to go to Pose. Like, it's POSS Street. It's supposed to be like Posse, and they're like,
Yeah.
turn left on Street, and I was like, what? And like it literally, it said it like there was no mix-ups. It wasn't like come again. It was like what the. I don't know how
Yeah.
they pronounce it that way, but they did.
I remember that because I remember we were
They put a
downtown
U
like
in
the first
there,
time
and I was like,
you were
"That's
all,
not what you
hey,
should
you got to
do."
hear
But
this. You got to hear this. And I
whatever.
was like,
All right, moving on to
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
gotta go through these. I have actually had a lot of stuff, and I kind of moved it. By the way, how was your break, man? You see some family members, loved ones, get a lot of good fun.
we just had some people over the house and just kind of made food and everything else like that. And
Okay.
it was kind of funny because Mrs. Tribbiani, um, I make I got my dad's recipe for stuffing, and it's a kind of not like intensive, like crazy recipe,
Yeah.
but the process to put all the stuff together because it's not like a normal stuffing. Like I got like saute like celery and onions and butter for a while, and then I gotta brown up some like pork sausage, cut up. I gotta make cornbread, then crumble it. Gotta slice up bread, like bread slices into like little baby cubes.
Yeah.
Mix all like they mix it all together with all the seasoning, and then like put it with some broth and bake it. And it's good. Like it's good. Like everybody's ever had it is like, oh my God, it's like a meal by itself. It's just amazing. It just takes a bit to do all that. And so while I'm making the stuffing, she's able to like to knock out potatoes and put the corn in the thing, get that going. Like she liked to like four sides to my one. She's like, I'm doing everything while you're doing that. And I'm like, well, don't like you tell the story like as if I'm lazy and not doing anything. It's not like I'm like stove for stuffing and I just mix it with some milk or something and bake it. Like so,
What you've been very, very on point about pointing out to me and your wife is that we tell stories in a way that make you sound like as a certain character.
yeah, like a butthole.
Yeah, and it's opposed to like what is true. And I don't know your wife's angle. I know mine. When I tell certain stories, I just think it's funnier that way. It's like
Well, they
if I say,
are. It's just that like all of a sudden everybody looks at me like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, That's not the truth, though."
tell it right.
I'm like, now that you made everybody laugh, tell the story where I don't look like a complete jerk. Like, oh look, he's dead. Oh well,
but
time to go back to bed now.
yeah,
It's like,
but anyway, so I could see my family. My sister, she's trying to do like a she wants to make a lot of stuff, right? Like a lot
oh,
of
that's
these little
right.
crafts and stuff. So she actually, I guess she designed a logo. My mom is gonna kind of help her. So my mom, they're both artist people. My mom's gonna kind of help her smooth it out, but I think she's calling herself right now Puppy Pastel. But I'm having her look and see if she can put I made a QR code for our show. And I'm trying
Uh-huh.
to see if she can print that out and put it like on a shirt too. Because I want to get like a Choey and a Jandler shirt. But if we had a QR code on it, I just think that'd be, pretty sweet. And she talked about stickers and stuff too, man. So I was
She's
like,
gonna
yeah.
do she's gonna make like the shirt, design it for us, then we'll just put it on the shirt.
No, I did the cricket, right? I mean, I did the QR code. Is that what you're talking about? And I
No,
wanted,
she's gonna design the shirt like to go on the shirt or what?
well, I want her, what my brain thinks is to get a white t shirt, right?
Yeah,
And our logo, hi, my name is Choey and Jandler.
yeah.
We'll have one that says, hi, my name is Choey. And then, hi, my name is Jandler. And I was asking if you wanted to put it on the same side, because I was like, you could be on the right side, I could be on the left side, just because we're like opposite, or we just could be on
Yeah.
the same. But then I want to see if she can get like the QR code, like maybe put on the sleeve or something. That's
How about this?
that's what I'm thinking.
We do the hi, my name is right here on the left chest, like when you're supposed to put your name tag,
Yeah.
and then on the chest part,
Uh-huh.
we take those crazy little Lego guys,
Yeah.
and put each our Lego guy wearing the shirt with the QR code on it.
Ooh. Let's see.
With
Yeah.
something to brainstorm right there.
It is something to brainstorm. You are a very good idea, man. Like I am. It's just you got to remember sometimes you come up with ideas, and then other people have to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, that's why
Joey's just
eventually
like,
I'll be the CEO somewhere or something.
Joey's like, you do all the work.
I'm like, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
It's your problem.
Anyway, I thought I was
My
gonna tell
only
you this.
my only problem in that process is the fact that I don't have like any sort of business or clout to do that. So I'm like, I've got this great idea. They're like,
You're
then
like, I'll
do
just
it.
act like the CEO, right?
I'm like, do it, peasants. And they're like, who are you talking to? You're not the boss of anybody.
Now that you said that, I'm gonna put that on your shirt, but I'm gonna make it like COE. Like you all spelled it wrong. I'm the COE of this, man. Listen to this guy. I was trying to think. So yesterday, I was doing a lesson, and by the way, I'm always like I told you, I always put like extra stuff on our agenda or slides just in case, based
Yeah.
on time. But there's always a point when I'm like, I don't got any material. I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about, and then it takes like a day or two. Just going to school, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll talk about this. Oh yeah, that's funny. I was teaching advantages and disadvantages of how humans modify the earth, right? It's a social studies / science thing, right? We knock down trees and grass to build something, right?
Yeah.
And so then I was asking them, so I wanted them to draw 2 ways people modify the earth, and then tell like how does that affect us, and then I have to explain what that means. It's like, well, if you build a store, what does that do for us?
Yeah.
And so this girl drew a house, and I'm like, okay, how does it affect us? And she's like, it gives us oxygen. And I was like, you sure about that? And she's like, well, there's air inside the house, and that's how you breathe. And I'm like, all right, touche. But I was just like, the house doesn't produce oxygen. It's not really true.
Yeah, it
there.
comes out of the air conditioner. That's how that works.
It was just the brain thoughts these kids have, right? That's not really how it works. But it was just, like I said, it made me smile. It made me laugh. This next thing I've been meaning to tell you for a while. I was teaching a lesson this a couple weeks ago with a Katy Perry song in the background because somebody had a music pass and they wanted to
Yeah.
listen to Katy Perry. So I thought it was kind of funny because I'm a dude, and then I think it was like a rock star or no firework. Firework was playing in the background. So
Sure. Because that's the one that starts out with, like, did you ever feel like a plastic bag, like that
I
one,
think
right?
so. Yeah.
That I was on hold with like calling a company like years ago, like trying to complain about something, legit, like bad stuff. Like it was like not like, oh hey, my burger was a little cold when I got it from Burger King. No, like actual real stuff.
Imagine that. Choey.
I know. Well, no, it's because like so it was from rooms ago. Like we got a mattress, and
Yeah.
like where I slept, like there was like a 6-inch divot. So it's like I'm like sleeping in like a golf hole kind of thing. So like every person that would get on didn't like they were, oh well, that's not my department. I can't really like they would let me explain the problem. And they'd be like, oh, I can't really help you. That's got to be this department. And so I explained like 5 times the same story, and finally got before I got to the person that could actually help. But like that was the song on hold every time. So it was like basically
Is
like,
it?
you don't feel like you're being listened to, and you don't feel like you're just kind of being tossed around. I was like, this is not helping my mentality while you're
So,
passing me back and forth.
so it
But
was
yes,
like
I do feel
it
like a
was like
plastic
her.
bag.
It was like her legit song, not like an elevator type remix, with like
No, it was
string
like
quartet.
that song playing. So I was just like, yeah, it took me like 2 or 3 times before I finally realized, like I'm like finally listening, going, yes, yes, it is. I do feel like a plastic bag blowing in the wind. Like nobody cares.
Yeah, there's an SNL or two, a couple sketches I can send you with that with people trying to be on the phone. But you reminded me, we had a retreat a couple summers ago, and coming back to school, and they were passing out these cards, right? And there was
Yeah.
it was like a word on the card, and I was supposed to like group up, right? And I forget what the category of the words was. Anyway, I could not find. They'd only made the word I had. They only made one of, right? And so I couldn't
Yeah.
find anybody the to match up with and pair with. The word, by the way, was inclusive, and I was like, I don't think y'all know what this. I was like, I don't think y'all know what this word means.
You only made the one person that gets left out is the inclusive guy. They're like, yeah, we don't really like it. We're
They're
public
like,
school, man.
They're like, nobody saw that one coming. You know?
The prisoners all boop boop. You're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not good at all, man.
Hey, we're about to head to break, but I will say, because it's on the agenda, I still, and we've talked about it before, I still want to put some of our songs kind of on iTunes, just so
Yeah.
we can. But obviously, I'm still looking at, me, I'm trying to do research just about, because it's like, I'm not doing stuff. It'd be nice to make money, but I'm trying to like make it known. And I think like,
Yeah.
because it's like, I know there's one thing I could get for like $3.99 a month. And if I just use it 1 month, I'm only spending like $4. But I'm like, and I only want, I was like, would people buy our song for like a nickel or a dime? I'm not trying to make like a profit. You have to buy our song for $400. We got to make ends meet,
We're like, oh, we got to sell our song to one
Yeah.
person and then we're done.
Yeah. We're tired.
But so
Alright.
$4.2 million.
Sold.
They're all, it's cool, man. It's not that cool.
They're like, nope, you already agreed. You already shook on it. So, all right, go to break, all right? And
All right.
I got our Christmas tune loaded up.
Oh, yay.
Hope this is the right one.
We
Nope, that's not the right one. I gotta let you listen to that later. I hope this one's the right one.
We take the gun, they choose, make later choose, made again, or simply choose. Sometimes it's all tossed empty, other times it's choose, and you effing knows it. We also say sorry, saluti, or to gain. Skull in Russia we cheer, Nazarovia, and now in Vietnam we can say yo. Let's have Choey and Jandler cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Different languages, same sentiment, raising our glasses to friendship and joy. Cheers, cheers, cheers around the world.
And
It's
here,
it's almost like Coldplay was doing that one right there.
it's the same one from last week, but yeah, I could see that.
I kind of listened to I listened to the accent a little bit more.
Oh,
Like,
okay, but I think I think that could be in an elevator one of these days, man. If you think about it, at the mall or in holiday time, it's a
Yeah.
perfect jingle. All right,
playing
let's go.
playing over there in
Morgan
North Star
Freeman.
Mall in the food court.
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm here to help Choey and Jandler to read an advertisement for BuyBlackett.com. Please shop BuyBlackett.com. Are you looking for unique gifts at unbeatable prices? Then look no further. BuyBlackett.com has quality merchandise for everyone on your list, from gifts for cat and dog lovers to American fans, beer enthusiasts, and even Jesus lovers. As for teachers, we didn't forget about you. Please don't miss our funny attire to brighten up your classroom. So bring a smile to your loved ones' faces and shop BuyBlackett.com today. Tell them Choey and Jandler sent you.
I need to make one for Video Gen, and I was just as I was listening to Morgan Freeman, I was like, "What's a good parrot AI voice?" And I was like, Steve Jobs, I guess maybe, like or Bill Gates, like a computer guy that's like, "Hey, I don't know, if you got a good voice that you can think of, you let me know, man."
I mean, I just came up with one that's kind of jacked up though. Like, I don't know if it would be.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with.
I don't know. I don't think it's very obscure. I was thinking of
Oh.
I was thinking of the guy that played Short Round from
Oh, that
when he was
guy.
in the Goonies.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was not thinking that. I thought you were thinking something that's like, no, it's inappropriate. So now I'll share that later off screen, just in case it is inappropriate. By the way, I gotta figure out where I had this. I want to ask. I need Choey, put on your doctor hat, all right? Because this segment right here is gonna be Ask a Doctor. Okay.
Sounds good.
You're gonna analyze my dreams. We have 2 dreams here, right? And these dreams were about 3 weeks ago. So bear with me if I don't remember all the details. I wrote down enough. First one I thought was funny, right? I had this dream. You, me, and the missus, we were out shopping or something. We were gonna go meet for we were gonna go meet up for something, right? We're gonna go meet for dinner or whatever. and like say it's like 4:30 in a dream, and you're like, hey, we'll be there at 5. Me and Mr. Brownie, we want to go get ice cream right now. And I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, we're gonna go get ice cream. We'll be there in 30 minutes. And I was just, and so in the dream, you and I got in a little funny argument because I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand how time works. And you're like, what do you mean? And I was like, the ice cream shop is like 15 minutes away, right? So you gotta drive there. Then you're gonna get your ice cream and eat the ice cream. And then you're gonna drive back. I was like, I don't think you're gonna be there in 30 minutes. And it was just kind of funny because it ended up being like this argument between you and I over time, you know? What would you say? How would you interpret that, Dr. Cho?
So let me ask you one quick clarify. Like when we're gonna meet for dinner, it's you and I or me?
You know, like us three.
All three
Like your
of us.
wife was
Okay.
gonna, yeah, we were all gonna eat dinner.
So I would say, I mean, it's obvious that the dinner represents the fact that you feel like a connection and you feel part of the group and the group dynamic. You feel welcome within our family. So that's
Right.
great, right? But it's the ice cream and you're fighting over the time. It's basically, you're just saying that like the missus is taking too much time away from you with me. And therefore we're just going to have to make sure that like, you know, at some point down the road, like she just has to go off on her own. And obviously it means that she's going to establish and buy a dairy farm.
Right.
And then
You know-
we'll make ourselves famous with Choey and Jandler's. Yeah.
You know, what's funny, I'm laughing because I'm like, you know, that's probably what most people would interpret. You know, I'm thinking there's probably a lot of insight there. And then I'm also laughing because I was like, you know, in my brain, it's just like, we're just arguing over like, I'm a big person on time, but we're just both arguing over like, no, you're stupid and you're stupid. You know, it's just kind of funny. But, you know, so the continuation, because really this is a 2-part dream. You ever have dreams that just, you start doing one thing and then like you're on an airplane and next thing you know, you're like, you know, you're teaching school, like it just morphs in this weird transition, and you're like, how the hell? You and me, we're like having this debate over the time, right?
Yeah.
And while we're doing it, we're like in front of the store, and they had like this kind of half crescent, you know, drive up. You know what I mean? Like almost like drives into the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then they had like this brick wall structure in the middle with like some plants or whatever, and this tow truck drives by, right? Like you and me, we're not arguing, but I mean, you know, we're like obviously disagreeing with each other, and you just hear this, right? And we kind of look up, and this tow truck had got like its back cable had like got stuck. Someone was dragging on the street and got stuck into the wall, and like as it was trying to drive away, it caused the truck to crash, right? And then so that kind of startles us, and then the truck somehow unwedges, drives off, and then you hear this other big accident. And then you and me, the heroes that we are, we just start sprinting towards the sound, right? The accident sound. You outrun me, and then as I'm running slow, I kind of like stop, and I almost fall, like the road collapsed, right? And I almost fell, and I was able to stop myself. But what's the main thing I wanted to tell you is like you're running and I'm yelling Choey, and then the ground crumbles underneath you, right? And you just fall, right? And bounce like a Super Mario's character. And the next thing you know, you're up walking, and you'd fall in like 50 feet, and there's just like nothing happened, and the ambulance came, and I was just like, that's weird, you know? What would you say there, Choey?
Well, that one, it's also obvious. Like, I fall 50 feet and bounce up because I have a miraculously well-toned buttocks that just absorbs stuff like that. And also, I feel like you probably did a lot of drugs before you went to bed that night. Like, because, you know, you want to eat ice cream. You're talking about going out to eat, and then you got the munchies for ice cream before we're going to dinner, which is weird because I'm having my dessert first. And then we're running. It ties in, like you said, because I got to run down the street to burn the ice cream calories off. And so I feel like you were on drugs.
You know what? The last thing I want to make sure I mention is when you fell down, I was like, Choey! I wasn't like, oh, Choey's dead. And then just turned to walk away, you know?
Okay. It's a dream
Yeah.
versus real life.
I was like, I think I found like a, you know, like some of those movies, they find like that tree branch that just keeps going and going. And there's like a rope. to like throw into the crevice to try and help you get out. And like I said, next thing you know, you just have like a scratch above your head. I'm like, are you the guy from Unbreakable? You know? Are you
Well, that'd be
Bruce Willis?
cool. That would be cool. Those movies were a little bit different than I thought they would be, for sure.
Don't ruin. I didn't watch this. I only watched Unbreakable.
I
I mean, I guess you could ruin it. Was it like 2 decades ago?
Like it's like am I in Sixth Sense for you too? Like that he was dead the whole time? Like
I
surprise,
had
25 years
no
later.
idea.
What? Well,
Damn
no,
it,
like
Joey.
so. I mean, they're good. They're I don't know. I guess I'm just not a big M Night Shyamalan. How do you say that guy's last name?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his because it's I don't know. The boys make fun of me too because they're like, "Oh, you don't like movies like this." No, I like movies where like you're very simple. Like my dad's like they're very simple movies, and I'm like those are awesome too. Like The
Yeah.
Expendables with Sylvester Stallone and Schwarzenegger, where it's just shooting like the whole.
Yeah.
He's like, "There's no story," and I'm like, "Yeah, does there need to be a story? Like the story is bad guys were bad, and then now they're dead. That's the
You know
story."
what's always funny to
But
me?
like Avengers.
Uh-huh.
I hated the. I'm not a big fan of the Avengers like Infinity War Endgame one because it's like, why
You're
is
like, I
Iron
had to
Man
use
gonna
my brain
die?
too much.
Well, no, I mean I followed through with it. And I'm like, okay, cool, but then I'm like, why is Tony Stark gonna die? You couldn't have just we couldn't have figured something else out for that. Like,
Probably money related, contract. But you know what I was gonna say is like, what's funny is when you listen to these episodes, like I've told you this before, it's pretty easy to see why we had we have a What's Chopping Choey segment because you're always like,
just,
yeah.
well, because there's just a lot of stuff. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on, why we gotta
by the
do
way-
it like that?
By the way, we need a What's Chopping Choey next week, man. It's been a while. It's been too long.
Okay, we can do
I-
it. Like, obviously, things bother. Like, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, and then sometimes when I sleep too, things are bothering me.
Curse you, son! In the
It's
sky,
like
not in my house.
there's a comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, and he's like he does like a little thing. He talks to his wife. He's like, "Why you always gotta be like that?" He's like, "You know what? I like to be bothered. That's what I do." And I notice certain things. Like stuff happens to me, and I just notice it. Either it's an issue, or it's a funny story. It is what it is.
All right, hey, moving on real quick. The last thing we do before we start checking out, I want to do a teachable moment because it's also been a while for a teachable moment.
Chandler Bing.
Yeah, teachable moment by Jandler Bing.
Yeah. What do you say? Like you?
Well, because I almost accidentally said Chandler, so that's why I was like,
You almost
Chandler.
yourself.
Yeah.
Chandler.
Oh, here's a hint. This is I didn't put for parents or for teachers, but really this applies to both. Make sure to always check kids' pockets. A kid yesterday, I have these like sandwich bags, right? Quart size and gallon size. This kid had a gallon size bag filled with water from the sink, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm taking this home for my fish. And I'm like, you
What?
got water at home? Go dump that out. I was like, what? Whatever. Like I said, man, 7, 8 years old. You don't know what they think.
Elementary kids are probably the best. Like it's working at every level. There's pros and cons, but I think one of the most awesomest things about working in elementary is like the stuff that they say, and you're like, what? Like how do you get from A to B like with that? Like
Yeah.
no. And you just don't, I mean, you can vouch for this. You never have enough time to like flesh out all these crazy ideas just to be like, let's work through that one and figure this one out for you.
Yeah, I think
How does that work?
Probably the most unbelievable thing for me in my brain is how I don't laugh at so many of these situations. Because in my head, well, actually, what happened when a situation like this happened, right?
Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts going through my head. Well, really 3. Don't laugh. Correct his behavior, and then I was like, then I gotta jot this down for the podcast because I was like, I gotta bring this up. I can't forget this, But it's just crazy. But also,
like my new favorite person is that little girl in your class that's afraid of the bear. Like
the bear,
I just love
she's
that.
not in my class. She's my intervention group. But yeah, what would you call it? Like I don't know. I need a name for her besides Bear Girl.
Maybe phobia kid. For life. Like
What do you call it? Yogi the Bear, but with an E or something? I don't know.
Joni the bear.
Yeah. There was a girl bear in that show, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I think there was.
Probably. Yeah, I think you
Anyway.
gotta have a girlfriend. Everybody has to have a girlfriend on their show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What was my? Oh, the last thing I was gonna say, going on the teachable moments, and this isn't nearly as funny. Actually, it isn't funny at all. I guess some of the older kids, they were vaping in the bathroom,
Uh-oh.
and a couple years ago, vaping's been a thing. I swear, the last few years in 5th grade. You know, it's just that age or whatever. But somebody was vaping before, and they had a marijuana vape. So,
Oh, dang.
another reason, the principal sent the email to all of us, and I didn't want to ask because I'm like, because then I want to know who it is. You know, I'm not trying to be like nosy, but I want to be like, is that the older side or the young? Because I'm kinder, first, second grade side. These kids are bringing in vapes. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I only send one kid to the bathroom at a time, so I doubt it's us. But it's just like, yeah, yet another reason to check these kids out. You know.
You teaching at Dangerous Minds Elementary School? Is that what's going on?
It's thinking medicine, right? It's medicinal.
He's trusting he's a Mr. Bink's math test is one tough mother. Oh, jeez, man. What's on that math test?
Like, I can't wait till we're over. All right, I'm sorry. I'm looking at I'm doing the, and I'm going to apologize as I do our social media plug. One of the things I wanted to do that I forgot was to call Instagram, right?
Yeah.
But if we have to redo it, we might just make at Choey and Jan 2 or something.
Yeah.
Or Choey and Jan with a big Z. Choey and Jans. I don't know. But
Yeah, why
please
not?
follow us at Choey and Jan, CHOEY, the letter N, JAN on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok. Those are all good. MySpace is there, but there's nothing up on it. And then obviously the Threads, Instagram, probably gonna have to do the redo, right?
I'm on board with that. Why don't we just add the Z and we can just make the other name? Because I guarantee you, nobody's got Choey and Jan as a Facebook and Twitter account anyway.
Choey and Jans.
Yeah.
Let's just do that. We're gonna lose those 31 people or so that we had following us.
I mean, if they're listening to us right now, then they'll find us eventually.
That's true. That is true. But,
and if not, they can scan the QR code on our T-shirt.
What does it say? If you love something, let it go, and it'll come back to you. Is that
Yeah.
All right, hope
if you love something enough, let it go, and if it loves you, it'll come back. And we will come back. I was thinking the other day, I was like, I wonder if we'll do this when we're like in our 50s and 60s.
50s, I could see. You know, there was a point where, like I was driving when I drove up to hang out with my mom and sister, because I was listening to some episodes as I was driving up there, and that thought crossed in my head too, because I'm like, we're gonna get to the point where it's Choey and Jandler, the retired years, you know? Like that's the spinoff, you know?
Choey and Jandler Jr.
Yeah. They did in our will where like you have to take over the show. I don't care what you talk about. Every week.
What's Chap and Choey?
Yeah.
Still. Well, I really sound like that. I'm all, you know, back in my day, social media used to be a good thing.
And then, because you were really social about it. You weren't mean to everybody, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and pull the plug, sir.
Pull it. I'm gonna work on.